Hello, everybody, and welcome to Gambling and Rambling. This is week 11 of the NFL season. Today, we're going to be going over all the spread picks of Thursday Night Football all the way to Monday night. We'll have Alex kind of be the MC of this show just because my laptop's busted and I'm on my phone. I don't have any access to anything, so I don't even really know what the lines are. I've bet
that's what happens when the Saints lose. Breaks his laptop, smashes his laptop.
I can only imagine what you did when the Browns lost to the Patriots.
Moved down to Florida. Had to clear my head, get some sunshine. Wasn't good.
Yeah. So, well, speaking of the Patriots, that is our first game of the slate. So, we'll hand this off to Alex, who has all the
So just a quick recap of last week here too. PB put up the best record of the week, went 9-5.
With 1-0 on the lock.
Yep. So good job, PB. Corey came in second there, 8-6. His lock, however, did not hit. We got Nick 6-8, his lock hit, and then bringing up the rear 5-9 for your boy and 0-1 on lock. So just a turn it around week in week 11 here. That's what we're looking for. But on to the first game, Thursday night matchup, Patriots at Falcons. Line opened at Falcons -1.5. It's all the way up to now Patriots -7. Got an over-under of 46.5. Yeah.
The line opened at Falcons -1.5, and it is at Patriots -7.
Yep. So
I
I believe it opened. It definitely opened prior to Sunday's games.
Okay.
Because that clearly flipped the line quite a bit.
That's wild to me. I've never.
Well, they're at
Mac
home.
Jones
that makes sense.
Mac Jones is emerging as the next Tom Brady. Bill Belichick has done it again. It's very frustrating. They just absolutely destroyed the Browns last week. They look like a good football team. Their third string running backs were just trucking all over that Browns defense. Doesn't matter who they throw back there. They're just going to produce. Mac Jones looks incredibly accurate for a rookie quarterback. I think that the Falcons are not the team that's going to stop this train right now. This might be one of Belichick's best coaching seasons, I think. I mean, definitely not his best team, but from what I saw last week, it's they're performing at a very high level. So let me get, what is it now? Patriots -7?
Yeah.
Going with the Pats.
All right. Corey?
Yeah, no, I'll take this to my grave. I will never bet on that team in the upstate. I hate the Patriots. I can't stand them. Never stood them.
I wasn't sure if you were going to.
We know Corey's betting process right now is just whatever can happen for the Colts to make the playoffs, and the Patriots are one of the teams that can stop the Colts, and so he just can't. No matter what, he can't bet on it.
Oh no, I was on the Saints last week, so I understand.
Yeah, because of the Titans being on the other side.
That, but it went against my better judgment because, again, if the Saints would have won that game, I would have never heard the end of it from you. But going back to this game, I think Mac Jones is. So last week's game script obviously helped him a lot because one, they had a defensive touchdown. They got up early, very quickly on the Browns. And so Mac Jones didn't have to do anything. All he had to do was snap.
He did a lot. Don't say
he definitely
did a lot.
No,
They put up 45 points, Corey.
No, I know what he did. I'm just saying, like, there hasn't been a scenario this year where, there's a 2-minute drill and he has to move the ball down the field. And I think at home, short week, we've always talked about, the Falcons. I think the Falcons are still, they put up a dud. I still think they're pretty competitive. And they're very, very slim chance of making the playoffs in the NFC. There still is a chance there with the way their schedule ends up. So I like the Falcons at home at +7.
PB.
So props to anybody if you got the Patriots as like +1.5 or whatever. It seemed that's just wild to me. But now that it is at gone all the way to Falcons +7, I will definitely be on that side. I always like taking, like, especially these teams coming off of huge weeks, like the Patriots, like they covered, and then you have the Falcons who did not cover against the Cowboys and got a beat down. This is a spot on a short week. People will be very recency biased, and they'll just take the Patriots, however many points, it doesn't matter. The public will take it, and and Cordell Patterson is like probably not going to play, but that really doesn't matter that much. Mike Davis will just fill right in there, and it's a short week. The Patriots are having to travel to Atlanta, and whenever I can get someone at home at +7, that's too many points on a Thursday night. Way too many points in a game that I think again will probably go under the total. So yeah, I'm taking the points here with the Falcons.
Yeah, I really like this line a lot better. I mean, obviously, when it was at 6.5, right? I can definitely see the Patriots winning by a touchdown here without. I think Cordarrelle is going to be, if he doesn't play, is going to be more of an issue for the Falcons than you're giving them credit for. They don't have a great run defense, and the Patriots game script is run the ball, check down, run the ball. I just like the way the Patriots are playing right now. I'm going to take Pats -7. I think Belichick in a short week is better prepared and gets his team better prepared than, is it Arthur Smith?
Yeah.
Whoever So I'll
Matt Ryan on a short week, one of the best quarterbacks against the spread too. It's like 75% hit rate.
Is that right?
Yeah.
And to your point too, I don't know the exact percentage, but betting teams that didn't cover last week
against there's a lot of things going in favor of the Falcons. You're fading the public for sure. The public's gonna be hammering the Patriots. You are getting a team that absolutely blew out the Browns, and then you're getting a team that got blown out, so that increases the spread. And then you're getting like a team that, like Matt Ryan, who's been pretty solid over his career, on a short week. So yeah, I think there's a lot of things moving in favor of the Falcons +7.
All right, on to Sunday's early games here. First one we're going to cover is Ravens at Bears.
Right down.
Line opened up at Ravens -3.5. It's all the way up to Ravens -6. Over under at 45 here. I'll start it off. Just being the Chicago guy, I'm not looking forward to this game. I think that this is going to be an extremely boring game. First of all, I think it's going to be an extremely fast game. A lot of handing the ball off, and assuming that there isn't a million penalty calls and holdings, this game's going to go by quick. I think the Ravens cover anything less than a touchdown, and the under, even at 45, seems too high. So we'll kick this one off with Patrick.
You said what the spread is? It's -6 Ravens, right?
Yeah, Ravens -6.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Ravens -6 here. They just got beat by the Dolphins. People probably a little lower than they should be on them, and a team that can get pressure against Justin Fields like the Ravens can. I'm going to take that, especially at less than a touchdown. Maybe if it was like 7.5 or more, I'd lean the Bears side. But yeah, I'm going to take the Ravens here in a bounce back spot. I've been saying all year, we'll see how he does over the course of his career, but I'm not a big Justin Fields guy. So I'm getting the Ravens at less than a touchdown. Easy pick for me.
And Nick?
Yeah, I like the bounce back theory for this one as well. That AFC playoff race is heating up, so I think the Ravens are gonna, really take this game pretty seriously. And like you're saying, anyone who can put pressure on the Bears' offensive line is going to give Justin Fields a headache, and I just don't think that they have enough firepower to really overcome that, and the Lamar Jackson-led offense on the other side. So give me the Ravens.
Corey?
So after watching that Ravens-Dolphins game, I'm pretty sure one of the Dolphins players blitzed 24 24 times himself.
It was a corner too.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, they had it was like the same play call over and over.
yeah, and it obviously was working. I don't really understand why the Ravens didn't change the game plan to stop that. And I think the Bears have a better defense than the Ravens, or than the Dolphins. Sorry. Khalil Mack should be healthy again. They had a bye week, so he had another week to fully get healthy. Bears at home, it's a hard place to play. It's not, even though they suck, the fans always still there cheering loud. And the last time the Bears were on the field, they played the Steelers, and they should have won that game actually. Besides the egregious fouls that were called against them and cost them the game.
Yep.
I like the Bears here. I think they're trending upwards.
Okay, the Steelers are terrible, so I just continue. But as we saw against, the Steelers are not a good team,
I never said they weren't, but
the Bears couldn't even. What was how much did they end up losing by? Was it 3?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, second.
They lost on
The Ravens are significantly better than the Steelers.
I understand that, but I like the way that the Bears been playing. There looks like Justin Fields is getting a little bit more comfortable. He had arguably his best game of the season last week or 2 weeks ago when they played. And I think that, full week and a half to prepare for this game. I like Bears at home +6. Lock it in.
Lock it in.
Only way I think the Bears actually cover here is what Alex was saying, just a snooze fest of a game, kind of low scoring, and you always like to have points on your side in those type of games. So I don't know.
If this was like a Thursday night spot and the Ravens had just played Sunday, I maybe in the same spread, I'd probably be on the Bears side, the Bears at home. But the Ravens, they played the Thursday night football game last week, so they've had quite a long time to rest. I just
See.
We'll see. Yeah, like always.
All right. On to the next one. We got Packers at Vikings. Divisional game here. Opened at Packers -1.5. It's now up to Packers -2.5. Obviously, Aaron Jones isn't playing. Like I said last week, man, scorched earth Rodgers. Don't mess with that guy.
They didn't even do that well, but
they did. But, I mean, their defense looked sick. And
yeah, the defense looked good. I don't know if it was.
Yeah.
Everyone laughed at me 3 weeks ago when I was like, Giari Alexander's out, and now the Packers defense is so much better. We saw it last week. Besides the fact, I think everyone was just absolutely freezing in that game. So nobody was playing to the best of their ability. But the first snowfall game of the year is always tough. But
that is the weirdest take that I've heard, that the Packers defense is better without Jari Alexander. But
they're playing better.
If you think Kevin King is better than Jari Alexander, you're out of your mind.
I'm not saying talent-wise. I'm just saying they're playing better as a unit. Kind of similar story with OBJ and the Browns, right? You'd think that a superstar would help, but it's just not playing out that way. But I like the Packers in this one, but I will say I was impressed by that Vikings win last week. So I think it'll be a pretty good game, actually. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, well, I've been on the Vikings for the last 3 weeks, and they've covered 2. Actually, I think they've covered every single game, if I'm not mistaken. They've looked good. They're also fighting for a playoff spot. They need to win this game, to make it, easier for them to get into the playoffs as a wild card spot, because they're not winning this division. But with that being said, the Packers are a wagon. They've covered 7 of the 7 last 8 games.
9 straight.
9 straight. So even better. Aaron Rodgers at home, or they're in Minnesota, but it doesn't matter. Aaron Rodgers is gonna be back, fully healthy, and they're gonna torch the Vikings. So give me Packers -2.5.
What do we think, PB?
I'm going to be on the Vikings +2.5 here at home. I think the Vikings all year have played very, very close games, and they're very familiar with Aaron Rodgers. They're very familiar with the Packers, and this is probably one of the better Vikings teams that Rodgers has faced in recent history. I think, despite the Vikings record, I think it's one of their better teams, and I'm going to take the +2.5 here at home. You know, I always am going to be on the side. Like if a trend is going like where you have a team, like, I don't know what you said, the Packers have covered 9 straight.
Yep.
Like the spreads are meant to regress to the mean over time, and Vegas is adjusting for that. And so, eventually it's going to start coming the other way. And in a divisional game, I like it. I like it a lot. So I'm taking the Vikings +2.5.
Yeah, I agree with you, PB. I'm on the.
I wouldn't bet it, right? This isn't a game I'm betting though. Like, maybe if it got to like 3.5, I would be inclined to bet it. But like, it's just my pick if I had to make one.
Yeah, I think the interdivisional matchup generally lends itself towards less points, a little bit more of like a defensive battle here. So I can see it being close. I think the Packers still probably win, but I think the Vikings can cover 2.5.
That's a weird.
We shouldn't be betting on Mason Crosby to win a game for the Packers. That's for sure. That dude's dust now.
No, it's not his. They have a rookie snapper who does not. They just brought him in 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Okay, but I feel like it's been a little while now.
His kicks have been like laces. He's been kicking laces. Like it's been a terrible situation for the guy. I feel bad for him because he's been very good for his entire career.
Yeah, no, for sure, his career.
But yeah, you look at you just trying to throw him underneath the bus. You didn't even know the scenario. You just thought he just started sucking.
Okay, whether it's him or the snapper, is that changing?
I'm sure they're working on it.
Okay, I'm saying if it's not changing, what's the difference?
Well,
I said he's dust, but I mean it's probably a little bit of both. I'm sure other kickers have made up for something that. Yeah, I'm sure they.
No, okay. Well, I'm just
saying. I mean, on the note of kind of kickers getting old, do we all remember that Vinatieri season for the Colts? Why don't you just sit down over there, Corey? Crosby's over. He's done.
Okay, first of all, Vinatieri was like hurt that year, and he was playing through. He needs surgery, and he still played because he's the greatest of all time.
Sometimes you need to know when to hang him up.
Well,
he didn't.
He did. After that year, he did.
We're seeing it out of Crosby this year too. So
yeah. Might be
with PB.
Well, that's a perfect segue actually into the next game here. We've got Colts at Bills. Line opened at Bills -4.5. It's now up to Bills -7.5.
I don't even because I remember, because this is one I do remember because I thought I texted you guys, get the Bills 6.5 while you can. What, it opened at 4.5?
4.5, yeah. Yeah, according to Action Network, which I definitely trust.
Yeah, that's interesting. I wonder if that was like an early line or something.
It could have just been
like a week in advance. Yeah, just like I was gonna say that Falcons -1.5. There's no way that opened at that after the Patriots Browns game. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
but if it was really looking at it, it makes sense.
Yeah, Corey, why don't you kick this one off?
So, Colts have to win this game. Actually, to be fair, they could get in with help down the road, and they could finish 10-7 and potentially be the 7th seed. But obviously, you want to win as many games as possible. I think this game's going to get up past 7.5. I think people, once it gets to Friday, Saturday, Sunday, people are going to start realizing that if they like saw the Bills score from last week and the Colts against the Jaguars, they're just going to start betting it up even more. But whatever it gets to, I'm taking the Colts plus money, or plus the points. They are putting things together. Jonathan Taylor, best running back in the league right now. He is the best offensive line for running the ball. The only thing I get worried about is Carson Wentz just trying to do too much and make left-handed throws in the middle of the field when he's getting tackled by 2 guys. And if he doesn't put us in that spot where, he's trying to make a play every single down, then I think the Colts can cover this game. If some way, somehow we can contain the Bills receivers, like probably not going to happen. One of them is going to go for probably like 200 yards, but I don't know. Colts have to win this game. So I'm taking Colts plus 7.5 with my heart.
I'm glad you found your confidence again there, Corey. We had the chance to watch that game together. He was pretty scared. looks like Urban Meyer finally found the right play to put that finger on, and you know, got a little scary there at the end. So,
Dude, okay, wait, hang on.
They did not look very, other than Jonathan Taylor, that did not look good. Because
they
The
started so
Jaguars-
well.
The
you know?
Jaguars changed, or they're a bad team, but I think they're better than bad.
Oh, they're bad. They're
bad.
not better than bad. They're just
They're bad.
They're bottom of the league bad.
No, yeah.
They're like right in front of the Lions, because the Lions, after what I watched, they're officially the worst team.
Or
But
that defensive touchdown is what won you the game.
There's a blocked punt.
Same difference.
so, Nick, what are
It's
you?
way
What
too
side?
close.
What
Way
side are
too
you gonna be on,
close.
Nick?
I think the Colts do not match up well against the Bills right now. The Bills receivers are going to just run wild, I think. And the best part of that Bills defense is obviously that run game. And I think they limit Jonathan Taylor for as good as he is. I don't think completely stop him. It's going to be a good game. But I still like the Bills in this one. Sorry, Corey.
Wait, hang on. But the Bills lost to the Jaguars. And we were just
That's true.
We're not.
No, but we were just saying how bad the Colts looked against the Jaguars. The Colts beat the Jaguars. The Bills did not. So take that with a grain of salt.
And I think, you do have a shot, definitely, because the Bills have not looked like the Bills that started the season, right? Like the past couple weeks, they've been kind of sputtering, and they've put up some real flops of the game. So, I'll cheer for the Colts, but my money's going on the Bills.
PB.
Yeah, as I mentioned right when we started off, I texted all three of you. I said, take the Bills -6.5 while you can. Moves now to 7.5. I mean, if I'm still, I have already put money on the 6.5, but now that it's at 7.5, I won't obviously bet it again. I will still in the show pick Bills minus. Is it 7 or 7.5?
7.5.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll still take the 7.5. I think Jonathan Taylor's not going to do a thing in this game. I think Pittman is going to get absolutely shut down by Tre'Davious White. And then on the other side, you're going to have Diggs run wild. I mean, whether Diggs or Emmanuel Sanders, one of them is going to have a big game. I think this Colts secondary is absolutely atrocious. Diggs is coming alive in the second half of the season here. I think this last week was like the start of that. He's had a solid year. It's just been underwhelming because everyone plays, fantasy, and he hasn't performed what they thought he would, but he's still having a pretty solid year. Really came alive last week. I think he could just, Josh Allen is just going to torch this team. So yeah, I'm on the Bills here.
Yeah.
This is a good, I haven't yet, but if it's at 7.5 now, I like getting it through two key numbers. So being able to get it through the 7 and all the way down to through the 7 and the 3 down to -1.5 seems like a nice little teaser play, but I have another teaser in mind as well. So
yeah, and I'm gonna ride with the Colts and Corey on this one. I think a touchdown's too many points. The 6.5, I definitely would have put money on right away, but once it got through a touchdown here,
I told you, why didn't you? It was at 6.5.
Balance was at 0 at the moment. But yeah, I just think a touchdown is too much the way the Colts have been playing lately. I know it's not a great matchup for the Colts. Bills' run defense is great, and the Colts have been winning games on the ground. But I just think this game stays fairly close. I could see a lot of points being put up in this one too. So in that sense, I'll take the Colts over a touchdown at 7.5.
I will say one more thing on this game. I know Jonathan Taylor's not Derrick Henry, but the good running backs who have played against the Bills, which has only been Derrick Henry, he went for 143 yards and a score. So I'm not saying Jonathan Taylor is Derrick Henry, but Jonathan Taylor is, he's the second best back behind Derrick Henry right now in the league statistically. So, even against fronts where the Colts have had, matchup problems, like, this team's better against the run, Jonathan Taylor still ran the ball against those teams. So
What's the best? I just want to know, what is the best defense that the Colts have played? Like, you name some of the teams the Colts have played. Name some of the defenses, because they have not faced a defense like the Bills in a while, probably.
49ers, according to you, one of the top teams against the running backs, and Jonathan Taylor.
No, I said they're top 10 against the running back position specifically. I'm talking about an overall defense, like a defense as stout as the Bills. Like, what are some of the teams? Just name off the teams the Colts played. They have not been very good.
Ravens, Rams, Titans. Let's go with
Jaguars, Jets.
Yep. Seahawks.
Okay, so this is the best defense you've faced all year.
I mean,
In a couple weeks.
It's probably going to be the best defense a lot of teams face.
Yeah. But I'm just saying specifically with the Colts, I don't know. I think, yeah.
I think you're just a little bit, we're both biased, and you can't be
I'm biased. So I've taken the Colts. I took the
tad.
Colts last week. I'm unbiased. I've taken.
No, you hate Jonathan Taylor. You hate Jonathan Taylor.
I have Jonathan
all right,
Taylor on my
enough time.
fantasy
Move
team.
on.
He's on my fantasy team.
All right.
Last note on this one, it's coming down to the playmaking of Bobby Okereke.
It's Okereke actually now.
Yeah, well, he's got a great name. He's going to change the game.
And on that note, we'll move on to the next one. We got Lions at Browns. Opened up -10, has not moved since. Nick, kick this one off here. We getting a bounce back game from the Brownies after that dud?
It's a tough one, man. I had to send myself down south, clear my head on a beach. Not sure it's fully clear yet to be able to assess what's going on for the Cleveland Browns right now. We had such a great defensive showing the game before, so I thought that would continue. Baker's all beat up. We obviously didn't have our run game. So it was a tough one. It's a tough pill to swallow. Good news is we're playing the absolute worst team in the league by far. So I think we have that going for us. And even if Case Keenum does play, I think we're going to sneak away with a win regardless, but 10 points, I don't think the Browns are capable of blowing anyone out right now. So I'm actually going to take the Lions +10.
Oh my God.
Browns money line, Lions +10.
That's tough to hear, man. That is tough to hear.
It's bad. It's the worst football game I've seen the Browns play this year. They just seem lost. There's just no spark on that offense. I think we need to make a defensive coordinator change at the end of this year. For as much talent as that team has, our D-line gets good pressure, but the amount of games we've let up plus 30 points is out of control. So until they can fix that and really become a stout defense that carries this football team, like, I don't know. Super Bowl's looking grim this year, my friends.
Is Baker not going to be playing? Is he questionable?
I'm not sure. I haven't had the strength to honestly muster it up and look at what's going on. I just can't do it yet.
I think last week was an anomaly. I don't think the Browns defense coordinator needs to get the axe if taken to the guillotine. I mean, they've been playing well all year with, they've lost to the good teams. They haven't really lost to a bad team, and the Lions are a bad team and they cannot stop the run.
According to Nick, they lost to the Chiefs, and that was a pretty bad loss.
Why? Just don't do that. Don't be poking buttons right now.
I'm just saying.
We'll get into the Mahomes stuff down.
Yeah, I'm just gonna stay with Browns. I think Chubb's gonna be back this week, and I think Chubb touches the ball about 25 times, especially if Baker's hurt. And Lions are terrible against the run. I know they looked okay against Najee last week, but that was like a sleeting wind tunnel game where
you also have to remember the Steelers' offensive line is atrocious.
Yeah, but the Lions have a terrible defense.
Yeah, but who did the Steelers just? They put. You act like the Lions have some. The Steelers just played the Lions, and the Steelers' offensive line is terrible. The Lions' defensive line isn't that. Like, why couldn't Najee?
I think
He-
it's just
what-
because his Mason Rudolph was in the game, just throws everything. I'm not saying Big
You know,
Ben.
Najee is fine with fantasy and all that, but he's been like a bad running back this year, right?
I mean, he touches the ball a lot. I mean,
He
for
touches the
fantasy,
ball like 26 times and he gets like 60, 70. Like, yeah, I mean, yeah, he gets a lot of targets too, but yards per carry has to be one of the worst in the league.
Okay, but we're not talking about the Steelers anymore. I was
I
just
know,
saying
I'm just
that
saying, like,
Chubb's going to touch the ball 25 times. Lions are going to win, or Browns are going to cover this game -10. Lock it in.
I really miss Kareem Hunt.
Is he coming back yet?
They're being very quiet about him.
They said 4 to 6.
They haven't activated him off IR yet.
yeah, I doubt he comes back this
I don't
week.
think he's coming back, but I mean, maybe for a playoff run, but not this week. I miss him a lot, though.
PB, where do you see this game going?
I'm gonna be on the Browns -10 here. I mean, it's last week. I forget, was it me? Who else was on the Lions? Like almost the money line with me.
I was.
Me and you, Corey. Yeah, the spread we easily won there, but the money line was so close. And I remember at the beginning and last week I said a little Lions money line, 49ers money line. It was like plus 1100. So close. The Lions, I just can't. After that performance, they were trying to lose that game. Like it was just unjustifiable how they somehow ended up losing. That team is beyond. I think Jared Goff had like 50 yards passing in 5 quarters. It was so terrible. Swift had like 35 rushing attempts. Like this team, I just can't. They're so bad. And -10 for a team like the Browns that their whole attack is rushing the ball, whether it's Chubb, whether it's Dearness Johnson, whoever it is, that's how they play. And the Lions is like one of the best matchups for that. Like they just get decimated. Well, pretty much everywhere in the field, but especially against the run. And the Browns are one of the worst matchups the Lions could face.
Yeah, I've got nothing else to add here other than Nick, you're apparently the only one not taking the Browns in this game. So
He's trying to reverse jinx himself so he can be right either way.
he's fading.
That's
himself
exactly
here.
right. I was hoping no one would catch on. I had a negative record last week, so call it black magic.
He's like, if I'm wrong, at least I made the right pick on the show, and if I'm right, my Browns will
Yeah. Some reverse psychology, We'll see what happens.
The Lions might be the first team to go 0-16 in a 17-game series season.
Good gosh, they're terrible. You know what's crazy? Hawkinson, I think, had 0 targets.
0
in 5 quarters. How do you
0.
your best weapon, but I mean Swift or whatever, but like your best pass catching weapon gets 0 targets in 5 quarters. That's uncalled for. Like someone needs to be fired just for that game alone. And you know what's hilarious? Just a side note before we get to the next game. Usually a quarterback has, like, when they're ruled out, especially like late like that, the line moves drastically. When Big Ben was ruled out, to go from Big Ben to Mason Rudolph, the line changed, I think, by half a point. Like that's how bad Big Ben is. Like that's just how the Steelers are not a great team. No matter what their record is, they're frauds for sure.
All
I
right.
agree with that for sure. All right. Next game we got on the slate, we've got the Washington football team heading to the Carolina Panthers. Line opened up Panthers -1, is now up to -3.5 on the Panthers. Nick, take this one away.
Glad you called on me there, Alex. I said at the beginning of the year that the Panthers would be a playoff team. I'm feeling very great about that call. Cam Newton is back. Didn't see that one coming, but here we are.
Oh my God.
CMC, Cam back at it again. I think they're going to, do a little skip to my Lou right over the Saints this week and
They're not playing the
start
Saints,
climbing
dummy.
that ladder and making a good playoff run. So give me the Panthers here. CMC's healthy. That offense is moving. That defense is looking good with Stephon Gilmore. Oof. Panthers are back. Let's go.
Patrick, I'll let you rebuttal here.
Yeah, this is I bet this already. I have Washington plus 3.5. This is one of the second games, like when we talked about the Falcons Patriots, where you fade the public. This is the next fade the public game. Everybody is gonna want to bet on Cam this week. Everybody it's funny. Cam's a guy that everyone like can love at times, but then once they actually watch him play, they're very quick to be like, wait, no, Cam actually sucks. He's not a good NFL quarterback. That's why he, left the Panthers. That's why he got, cut by the Patriots. And that's why no team picked him up until week 11. So, and now the line, we have Washington against Carolina. The most this should be is, minus 2.5 or minus 3 Carolina. Like getting the hook 3.5 is just an easy pick for the Washington side. There's no difference maker on the Panthers side that's so much better than the Washington side. This is a huge fade the public spot.
You agree, Corey?
No, I don't, because Washington just lost Chase Young, arguably their best player on defense, to torn ACL. Their defense is not good. We've talked about all year long. They're not good. Not saying the Panthers are some juggernaut on offense, but CMC's healthy. They have the offensive weapons. Now,
do you know who has to facilitate the offense, Corey?
Can you, before you just open your big mouth, can you let me finish?
It's Cam Newton.
I understand Cam Newton. He's not looked good. But if he can be serviceable, he's better than Sam Darnold. Is he?
Is he?
Yes, he is.
I don't think so. I really don't think so.
I think he is, because I think he's more of a leader than Sam Darnold is. That's for sure.
I'll give him that. He's more of a leader than Sam Darnold.
People respect Cam Newton in that locker room. Cam Newton's pissed on all fronts. So I think he still has something to show. Not saying Panthers lock him into the Super Bowl, but if they're making the playoffs, they have to win this game, because their end of their schedule is getting pretty dicey. They still have the Bucks twice. I know they have the Saints one more time. So this is a must win for them. And I think they cover minus 3.5 at home.
Yeah, I agree with you, Corey. I think McCaffrey is going to have himself a game here, and Cam really doesn't have to throw the ball more than like 5 yards down the field to get him going.
Just behind him. He doesn't even have to throw it forward.
Exactly. Yeah, with Chase Young going down, the football team's defense actually didn't look bad against Brady and the Bucks.
Well, that was more of just Brady looking bad, but
Brady did not play well. But yeah, regardless of last week, I don't think this defense is very good. So I'm gonna roll with Panthers minus 3.5 here too.
Well, this is the ones so far. The first spot, I think, is you guys are all on the opposite side of me.
Yeah, we've been pretty split otherwise.
I think they're clouded by your Saints fanhood here, PB.
I'm not at all. I took the Panthers money line against the Cardinals, so
nice bet.
Yeah,
I'm not biased on when I make my picks, like it. But I mean, I'm getting to bet against Cam Newton when the public is going to be all over him, like it.
I think,
and you act like
Cam's...
Washington, like again, Washington. You would think like I would have liked this more, because I think it would have been like Washington closer to 7 if the Bucks beat Washington bad. So you're getting a spot where like Washington just like had a big win, which I don't always like, but it's just the fact that it's Cam Newton. Like I'm betting.
We don't have to dispute, like he hasn't been the same ever since that shoulder injury a couple of years ago, but I think he's out to prove something. He's a very emotional player, and he's going to get his whole team fired up. We know that, football's more than one guy. He's going to get that whole locker room fired up. So, and I just like the momentum.
And they're at home.
Yeah.
Okay, enough on that one. Next game we got up, Texans at Titans. Opened up at minus 9.5, is up to minus 10.5 now. Texans coming off a bye. Titans coming off of a that backdoor cover by the Saints was was brutal at the end of that game. That one hurts. That one hurts.
We didn't win, but we were so close.
Good teams good teams win, great teams cover, right? But yeah, Corey, go ahead. Why don't you kick this one off?
You know what? If
Corey, come on! I know you're gonna be
some
on.
grace to God that the Texans could win this game, that'd be awesome. So cool.
Wait,
I don't think the
Why?
Titans. I don't.
I think every pick you've made on this show is all in favor of the Colts.
No,
That's
no,
your
not all
whole.
of them.
That's your whole process.
I took the
I mean,
Browns.
you did go
I took the
8-6
Browns.
last week, so I mean,
I took the Browns. Okay, the first two I took Falcons, Bears. I mean, I like those games. I mean,
Okay.
okay, back to this game. Who cares? I really don't think the Titans are that good of a team. I mean, they're good. Okay, don't get me wrong, but they've won close games, which everyone says like if you're a good team, you win the close games. I totally understand that. I just don't. Ryan Tannehill is not anything. He's not a great quarterback. Again, he's manageable. He can manage games pretty well. I mean, he put up 23 points last week against Saints. I don't know. Texans off a bye. I mean, give me the points. I think Tyler Taylor plays better than what he did the other day. So give me Texans plus 10.5. Don't know why. Just I like it.
what do you think, Nick?
That's gross. I'm kind of floored that Corey would still go with the Texans there. I mean, I like the Titans, even with 10 points against them. They've shown that they could blow teams out. The Texans can't score. Like that offense is miserable. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to talk too much about this one. I'm just going to take the Titans.
Me?
I think Corey's Colts bias is actually going to help pick him some winners this week because, I'm on the Texans side as well. I actually bet this as well at plus 10.5. This is one of those spots that, the Texans are coming out of a bye. We saw Tyrod Taylor early in the season keep games like pretty close, and then the Titans, I've just come off. I'm pretty sure they've beaten like 5 really good teams in a row. It's like the Rams, the Bills, the Chiefs, the Saints. I forget, was it the Colts? They beat the Colts too. Like they've beaten 5 very good teams all in a row. And this is just, I think, like a big like letdown spot for them where, we've kind of seen it. That's been like kind of the trend this year. A lot of these teams that look like they're about to, take over and be like everyone considers them the best team in the league. And then they have like the stretch where they're like losing a couple games. Saw it with the Rams, saw the Chiefs earlier in the season. And I think
Bills.
the Titans, I think this is going to be like a divisional game. The Texans at home?
No, it's in Tennessee.
Okay, it's in Tennessee. But I think this is too many points for a divisional game at 10.5. And Julio's going to still be out. It's still an 8. It's like a Deontay Foreman. It's a 3-headed committee backfield. And AJ Brown, they're very limited with their weapons. I don't think I'm kind of with Corey. I don't think they're as good as their record is.
Are you saying you don't believe in Adrian Peterson?
That's what I'm saying.
I saw
I don't
Just
believe in
check.
Adrian Peterson.
I saw a stat today that the Titans are, what was it? It was the number 1 most injured team in the entire league, have faced the strongest strength of schedule in the entire
Yeah,
league.
it's
And
pretty
are
wild.
The number 1 seed in the AFC.
What they've done is pretty incredible. I will give them that. But I think it's like, I don't know. I know it sounds stupid, but I think some of it has been like a little like luck based. But and a lot of people are like, oh, well, they've been unlucky. They've lost. They've been super injured and banged up. But I think some of the games they've been in have just been a little lucky. I don't think they're a Super Bowl contender. Like, I don't know if that's a hot take or what, but I don't think they have a chance to win the Super Bowl. So
I don't know that that's a hot take yet. I think people are still kind of like,
yeah.
I think people are in agreement with you there. You did, initially when I looked at this game, I was looking at Titans just based on the wins that they've been putting together, regardless of the injuries that they've faced for their top guys too. It's not like they're just losing, backups or second string running backs, things like that. They're losing other than AJ Brown, their top playmakers. But I think Texans off a bye, this is too many points. I think that the Titans win, but I don't think that they cover. So I'm going to roll with the Texans plus 10.5.
Yeah, and to be honest, I really like Texans side this week. Like that's why it's one of the. I think I made like 3 or 4 bets, and this was one of them. I really like the Texans.
A lot of points. They're professionals too.
Yeah, again, the teams like I kind of with the Vikings. I didn't bet the Vikings, but like the teams in the same division that are very familiar with how the other side's offenses are run, especially off a bye. I think that's way too many points.
All right, moving on. Next game we got here is 49ers at Jaguars. Games in Jacksonville opened up 49ers minus 4.5 is now up to 49ers minus 6.5. Let's see, PB, why don't you kick this one off?
I've thought the 49ers were better than their record has been all year. So I'm going to be on the 49ers minus 6.5 here. I think the Jaguars, it was kind of a battle between like the Jets, the Texans, Lions, and the Jags. Well, Lions are definitely the worst, but I think the Jags are definitely tied at least for second worst. And this is getting the 49ers by less than a touchdown. The 49ers are trying to make a big playoff run here, and their team is still very solid, in my opinion. And this is, I don't know. I think this is this should be at least a touchdown or more, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I think Kyle Shanahan heard all of the Matt Nagy comparisons and really dialed one up against the Rams there.
That's just mean.
And the second Jaguars are terrible against the run, and we know that's just how the 49ers are built. You have Kittle back, one of the best blocking tight end in the league. I mean,
pancake. I mean, he did get some help.
Yeah, dude, Von Miller stuffed into. I think he didn't play like a snap the rest of the game. I saw him on the sidelines. They were already getting beat, but it was just he just got slammed into the ground.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, Kittle's a man.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be on the 49ers here too, under a touchdown against a really bad Jaguars team. I think is easy money. Nick, what do you think?
Yeah, I like the 49ers here too. Big difference maker, I think, from what we've seen out of the 49ers the majority of the years is Kittle being back. He just adds another element to that offense. It's opening up Deebo Samuel to make all those big plays, whether it's out of the backfield or, playing the receiver role. It just keeps everyone on their toes. Elijah Mitchell's been a great fill-in, I think.
He probably won't be playing, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying in the past couple of games, they've looked good. I think they have momentum on their side. I know the Jaguars have kind of gotten close the past few weeks. I just don't think the 49ers are the team they knock off at this point in the season. So give me the Niners.
Not sure. Really not sure where to go with this, just because I watched the Jaguars. I mean, they're a bad team. They made adjustments in the second half to stop the Colts from running the ball. But the 49ers looked really well. The 49ers looked great and they held the ball for a very long time, which obviously was the game plan against the Rams, and not let Matthew Stafford, throw the ball and not even touch the ball. But I still think the Rams, they lost that game with terrible play calling and a bad offensive scheme going into the game. But again, the 49ers did a great job keeping the ball away and now not allowing them to change the game plan. But I guess I'll be on the side with everyone else. I'll chalk it. I'll take 49ers minus 6.5 on the road. I mean, Jaguars suck. Urban Meyer's still coaching, so I don't think they have a shot.
What we haven't really talked about yet is Trevor Lawrence. What do you guys think about him?
He's just in a bad offensive system right now.
Yeah.
I don't think Urban Meyer knows how to coach an NFL pro style offense, and it's showing.
Lawrence, for how bad that Jags team is, at least has shown me like he is capable, and I think as he develops, he's going to be a starting quarterback in this league. I think Urban's probably gonna have to go. That'll help him for sure. And as each draft, they're gonna get some better picks in the draft, and they have a lot of cap space. But it's just he doesn't look that great right now.
Not sure that's the number one free agency destination at this point, but they do have the no income tax thing going for them. So if we have a financially savvy player, we might catch some bait that way. But yeah, I feel bad for the guy. I mean, kind of reminds me of Tim Couch, all the talent in the world, and just wasn't on the right team.
I will
Hopefully
say
they
the
fix that
Jags,
sooner than later.
one of the brightest spots of their team has been kind of as the later half of the season's gone as their defense. It's kind of like Josh Allen, as we saw against Josh
Very good
Allen.
player.
And even in the Colts, yes, they started off bad, but like Corey said, they made adjustments. So I think that's something they have going for them moving forward. But yeah, right now the team though just it's not it.
No.
it ain't. All right, on to the Dust Bowl of the week. We've got the Dolphins heading out to face the Jets. Line opened at -3. It has not moved. Dolphins coming off of a good win against the Ravens. Jets coming off of getting absolutely blasted by the Bills. Corey, kick this one off. Where do you see this going?
I'm interested to see who's starting quarterback for the Jets. After that, I don't think if the Jets are smart enough and they really think Zach Wilson is their quarterback to be in the future, they don't bring him back early. There's no reason to do that. They're terrible. They're not going anywhere. So we might see another week of Mike White or Josh Johnson, depending on how that goes, because Mike White looked absolutely terrible against the Bills through 4 interceptions, I believe. But
Bills
Dolphins,
D though.
yeah, I mean, the Dolphins.
Yeah,
look
Wentz
good.
might look like Mike White.
All right. Well, we're not on that game, so just
I
chill
know,
out.
I'm just comparing this game to that game.
Oh, okay. Well, I see what you're doing there. But give me Dolphins. I think they're just a better team. I mean, I still think the Dolphins are bad. So give me Dolphins -3. Tua seems to be healthy enough to stay in games, and they just have more weapons than the Jets. So that's the only reason I'm on that.
I really love Jalen Waddle. I think he's starting to kind of come into his own in the NFL. I think he's going to be here to stay as a playmaker on that Dolphins team. Tua is obviously going out there every week with something to prove. He just can't seem to get the backing that he needs to just solidify his starting role. So, I like how his head's always in it. He's trying hard. And I think the Dolphins defense actually picked it up a little bit last week. I know we talked earlier in the show, they ran the same, cornerback blitz play like 25 times. Don't fix what's not broken, I guess. I don't know what's going on there, but they looked better than they have in previous weeks. Easy matchup against the Jets. So I think that the Dolphins get the win here. I like that the line's pretty close too. So
PB, you agree?
Yeah, I'm on the Dolphins -3. This is, like I said, I thought the 49ers have been one of the more underrated teams. I think the Dolphins are not in the same category. I think the 49ers are definitely better than the Dolphins, but I think they're an underrated team, and that's why I was on them against the Ravens. And I think this is this is not a team that is ready to just, give up on the season. Like, this team, I think, firmly believes they're a playoff caliber team. And with how it's definitely tough in the AFC with how many teams are competing for a playoff spot. But I think the Dolphins, with a couple wins here, are going to could be at least in the running for it. And, like I said, the Jets are terrible. Mike White can say what he wants about thinking he should have been what did he say, like a first overall pick or something?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. No, there's a reason he wasn't. And, and, yeah, I think this Dolphins team is better than people give them credit for. And yeah, I'm on the Dolphins here.
I've got nothing more to add to this game. This is the second game in a row. We're all in agreement here. Got Dolphins -3 as well. Moving on, got PB's Saints heading into Philadelphia, take on the Eagles. Line opened up early on Saints -3.5. It's now flipped to Eagles -1.5. PB, take it away.
No one's had a lock of the week yet, right?
Not yet.
We'll call it at
Okay,
the
well,
end.
This is no. You use after the game. If it was your lock, you're supposed to say it.
We can
Too
swing
late.
back, but go ahead.
Oh, okay. So Nick already passed his lock. Well, we'll come back to his lock at the end.
Yeah.
But my lock is right here in this game.
Oh,
As we said, the Saints.
Oh.
This. You think that's a bad pick? You guys are really on
I
the
no,
Eagles
no,
side.
Go
just
ahead.
go.
Let's
go.
hear it.
I'm not
Let's
cutting
hear
you
it.
off.
Okay.
I was acting like I was surprised if this was your lock. of the week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're going with the
I mean,
Eagles, right? The Eagles are your lock of the week.
it's the Saints +1.5. As you said, the look ahead line is Saints -3.5 in at the Eagles field. The line somehow moves 5 points just from the Saints having a complete bullshit call on against the Titans, roughing the passer that never existed, that really changed the course of the game. We kept it within 2 points of them. And now we get to face an Eagles team. There is not a worse matchup between two teams than the Eagles against the Saints. The Eagles are not a pass-heavy team, which is if you attack the Saints, that's where you're going to do it. You're going to attack whoever Lattimore is not on. Who do they have besides Devontae Smith? And Lattimore will completely lock him down. What are they going to throw to Quez Watkins and Jalen Reagor? No, they run the ball, which you can't do against the Saints. This is an absolutely terrible matchup for the Eagles offense against the Saints defense. And then the Saints offense matches up amazing with the Eagles. The Saints have Trevor Siemian, who they're not pushing the ball downfield a lot, which is what you don't do against the Eagles. You attack them in the intermediate short field, which is what the Saints do already. This line does not make any sense to me when I saw it. This is the best game of the week to put in all your teasers, getting them from 1.5 to 7.5. Best game of the week to put them on all your teasers, and then take them 1.5 money line, whatever. This is ridiculous that the line is like this. The Saints are going to roll the Eagles here.
PB feels disrespected.
Absolutely, this is an absurd.
The disrespect
line. It makes
of the
no
week.
sense.
The
It makes no
disrespect
sense.
game of the week.
This is the lock of the week. I'm telling you.
All right, we got PB's lock of the week. Nick, what do we think?
Yeah, I think this is actually going to be a pretty good game. We saw the Saints quarterback play. I think Trevor Siemian probably had the best quarterbacking game the Saints have had all season. Very close to breaking 250 yards, so congratulations on that. I bet that was exciting to watch.
Nick, has Baker hit that once this year?
Okay, we're talking about the Saints.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Is Kamara going to be back? I guess
probably not. There's a chance they haven't ruled him out, but yeah, whether he's in or out. And Mark Ingram, like I said last week, he had. If you were to hide Ingram's name from his stat line and just say which Saints running back had the stat line, 7 targets, 5 receptions for 60 yards, a touchdown, 50 yards, you would have been like, oh, that was Kamara, but no, it was Ingram. So Kamara is my favorite player, but it doesn't matter when you're running behind one of the best offensive lines in the league.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a close game. So I'm going to take the Eagles until they say Kamara's in, but I'm excited to watch Devonta Smith. He was the highest graded wide receiver last week. The guy's just phenomenal. There's a reason he won the Heisman Trophy. I think
so he's going to have a real good game against Lattimore.
I think he's going to have a breakout game against a subpar, overrated cornerback in Marshawn Lattimore. The guy's got a big mouth, and Devonta's about to put him in his place.
Nick, I understand
there's not
you're
much
doing
more
this
to
solely to attack me and solely to attack the Saints, but you're just discrediting yourself if you're saying have you seen what Lattimore's done this year?
We'll talk about his stat. We'll talk about the Devonta Smith stat line next week. I'm looking forward to it.
1 for 14.
You literally called out what he was doing, and it didn't matter.
It didn't. No, because I know what he's trying to do, and it's fine that it can work.
It's working.
It's still working.
But he's discrediting
He was the highest
himself.
graded wide receiver last week. It has nothing to do with. I think Lattimore's overrated personally, You know,
Could you-
he's
okay,
very
what-
hit or miss. He's
Who's
got a
been
big
better
mouth.
than Lattimore? Who could you say honestly has been that much better than Lattimore? You cannot name a corner.
We don't need to go into this. So he's
Okay.
not even in the top 10 for me. So
I'm gonna. All right. You continue. You continue what you're gonna say. Okay. I'm gonna go over here, and when Nick's done talking, you guys call me back.
that's all we had to do, guys. We just had to insult Marshawn Lattimore. So what do you think, Alex?
You know, I think that the Eagles are playing a lot better these last couple of weeks than what they actually are. I really don't think this Eagles team is very good. I think the Saints are okay. I think their quarterback play is going to hold them back from doing anything. I don't know that they're even, I don't think, I'd be hard pressed to see them make the playoffs this year with Trevor Siemian at quarterback. I think they're a good team otherwise. Going into Philadelphia, I don't like the matchup a ton. I think the Saints kept it pretty close against the Titans for most of that game. Obviously, just a 2-point loss there against a really good team.
Yeah, you know your season's on a good trajectory when you're like, we really hung in there, guys. Good job.
Nick, we are what, the 6th seed in the playoffs? What are the Browns?
Like that's what you're cheering for. You're like, we almost.
What are the
won.
Browns, Nick? What are you
I know
cheering for?
it's tough with Trevor Siemian. I understand. You know,
It's probably really tough with Baker Mayfield as well.
he's a little injured, but we'll see who they put out there.
Case Keenum is better than Baker Mayfield right now. Baker should sit.
Case Keenum's better than
All right, we're not on that
Trevor
game.
Siemian. That's for sure.
So
I'm gonna roll Saints 1.5 here. Corey.
Trevor Siemian hasn't had a turnover all year. He's finally he's able to play under a great coach and a great team. That he's looked a lot better than he has in previous years. So I'm just letting you know that.
Let's hear it, Corey.
And he's doing that with Deontay Harris, Callaway, and Kenny Stills. Like, come on.
You just don't have any playmakers if Kamara's not playing. So I don't think you have a chance to win a game without Kamara. Plain and simple.
I'm gonna have to institute the mute button on both of you. We need to let Corey get his pick out here.
Yeah, I know.
I think the Eagles are trending more upwards right now. They've looked good the past couple of weeks. They went to Denver last week against PB's so-called best defense in the league at the beginning of the year, in the Denver Broncos, and they hung up 30 on them. If Jalen Hurts plays the game where, you know, he's a rookie or he's a second year, he's not, you know, trying to make plays down the field, and he just he's conservative with the ball and just makes the plays when they're open and doesn't force anything, I think the Eagles have a chance to win this game. Saints, on the Saints side, obviously the Saints defense is, you know, it's better than average. It's good. So I think, but again, without Kamara in there, and it really does hurt what they want to do. You can say Mark Ingram had a similar stat line to Alvin Kamara, but he's not Alvin Kamara. So and he had success against, you know, the Titans defense, who's looked better. But again, I think if it comes down to a shootout, I'm just going to say who I believe right now is a better quarterback. We've seen Trevor Siemian, he keeps the ball safe, doesn't turn the ball over, but Philly's a hard place to play. This is not Tennessee. Tennessee fans are not known to be like, it's not a hard place to play. So in Philly, give me Eagles -1.5.
Just to finish, Alex, did you go? You went. Oh yeah, you do. Remember, we talked about this last week. What did the line change when Kamara wasn't in? It didn't. It moved like maybe half a point, but I think it went right back. Like you might not think that, or you might think that Kamara like matters that much to where the line should change a bunch, but it just isn't. And you have to understand,
I didn't say the line needed to change. I just said it matters in the way that the Saints run their offense.
But
he helps.
But if it matters that much, the line changes, because if you're saying Kamara is and you have to understand, I'm a Saints fan. I love Kamara. He's my favorite player. But I'm saying the position just does not matter like others do. It doesn't matter like if if you went from if Trevor Simeon and Taysom Hill were out and you had some other guy on the street, the line would change drastically because Simeon and Taysom Hill literally matter more than Kamara does. You might not think it, but it's true.
Yeah, I mean, you need a bad quarterback to run a bad offense. I understand.
Exactly.
You don't understand what I'm saying, but
I do understand.
just like it.
I'm just
All right.
saying.
I'm just so.
right, next game.
This is the lock of the week. So
All right, that's PB's lock. We could run in circles for the entire week here until the game gets played, but we're gonna move on to the afternoon games here. We got three pretty good ones, I think. First one we're gonna cover Bengals at Raiders. This is another one of those games where the line opened up Raiders -4.5 and has now swung to Bengals -1. Got a lot of public tickets coming in on the Bengals here. Over unders 49. Bengals coming off of a bye. Nick, what do we think here?
I like the Bengals coming off a bye. Unfortunately for the Raiders, they're just a disaster of a season at this point. Bengals got something to play for, right? They're rested up. They're going to come in strong. Not thinking twice about this, especially at -1. Let's go Houday Nation.
Yeah, with this game basically being a pick 'em, I'm in agreement here, Nick. I'm going to take Bengals -1. I think they're the better team. I don't love betting with the public, and I don't love betting when the line flips teams basically to that team that is now the new favorite. But coming off of the bye, the Raiders always have a habit of falling apart in the second half of the season. We saw that with their game against the Chiefs last week. So I'm going to roll with Bengals -1 here as well. PB, what are we thinking?
yeah, I've been, on Bengals since the beginning of the year, and I've said the Raiders I think have been overrated throughout the year. So being able to get it at pretty much a pick 'em, I'm going to be on the Bengals here. I think the Bengals are a very solid team coming off the bye. Yeah, I'm definitely. I think the one problem that I have that I think the Bengals could struggle with if they do lose this game is the Raiders can bring pressure, and we know the one weakness on the Bengals team is their O-line. So if the Raiders win, it's going to be because they just win in the trenches and they get after Burrow here. So in a spot where the Raiders just came off a big loss, it's like my emotions are telling me the Bengals, but like the side of me that bets is like telling me to lean Raiders, but I just can't take the Raiders. I'm gonna have to go with the Bengals here.
Yeah, and I think that Raiders pressure is solely on one player, Max Crosby, as the most.
No, they have another. Who else? It's Ngakwe. Is that it?
Yeah, he's good too. But Max
They
Crosby
have one of the best
leading the
duos
league
in
in
the-
QB pressures by a pretty good margin. So I think if they can figure out a way to isolate him, Burrow is going to have Joe Mixon, so he'll have his check down. I think he'll be all right.
I don't know. I think the one issue with the Bengals is, which we've seen the last two games they played, they can't keep, if Joe Burrow can't, stay off his back, then the Bengals have a very hard time winning games. They struggle, and Burrow makes some, bad throws under pressure. And, the Raiders absolutely just got torched by the Chiefs, 41-14. So, and they're at home. This comes down to a pick 'em. I would have it stayed. No, I guess I don't know. I don't like this game very much either, but
No,
I guess
do not bet this game. Do not bet this game.
Yeah, but just to be, contrarian, I'm going to take the Raiders +1 at home.
Yeah, I think that might be the right side here. This is just a complete stay away for me. It's tough.
Yeah, agreed. A game that I definitely plan on betting. Game that's probably the game of the week here. Cowboys heading into Kansas City, taking on the Chiefs. Line open.
Is this your lock?
It might be my lock.
Here we go. We got a second lock of the week.
So line opened up -7.5. It's now down all the way to -2.5 on the Chiefs. Over under is 55.5. Obviously, two offenses that can absolutely explode here. Probably two of the best in the league. We saw what the Chiefs did to the Raiders. They kind of looked like the Chiefs again. You know, they had that razzle dazzle. Mahomes had that touchdown to Darrell Williams where he was running around and basically just chucked it up. You know, a pass that earlier in the year was not going to them. What's up, Corey?
No, Nick. Nick is like just shaking his head over there. Nick,
I'm
it was
sure
a
he
lock
does
of the
make a
week.
lot
You
of
should be
good
happy.
plays chucking it deep because that's all he can do. He's got an absolute cannon for an arm, and he's a terrible quarterback. Maybe the most terrible, like terribly overrated QB of all time. Like that's all he does. Anytime he senses pressure, he's like, "Oh, someone will be down there," and he just yams it 45, 50 yards, and
All right,
like
let
he's
Alex
lucky he
finish.
has receivers to catch it. Give me the Cowboys all day. CeeDee Lamb, Dak Prescott.
Well, let Alex. He was just let Alex. This was his lock.
Sorry.
Way
Go
to
ahead,
step on my thunder, brother. I mean, I'm going to roll with you on this one. I like Cowboys and the points. I think that the Raiders are horrible, and the Chiefs, playing them twice a year, know what they're about, so they know what to do when they're in there. Other than last week, the Chiefs has not been able to cover anything. And the Cowboys, I mean, they played the Falcons, who are not great, but the Cowboys, I think, are a team you could see competing for the Super Bowl. I don't know that the Chiefs are that team this year. Maybe they put it together later on. You can never really count them out, but I think if you're going to give me this Cowboys team right now with points, I'm going to have to make that my lock of the week.
I'm with you. You know,
We have two locks.
two locks of the week because I think this is a true changing of the guard. The Cowboys are going to just show everyone who they truly are. They got a solid defense this year. I think, like I just went on my little rant, overrated Mahomes. All he could do is chuck it deep. Congratulations, you have Travis Kelce. That you got the best check down in the game, maybe ever. Travis Kelce is an absolute monster. He's got his swagger back, but you know what? He's about to face a really mean Micah Parsons on the other side this week that I don't think he's going to do very well against. Rookie's going to show him whose league it is now. I like the Cowboys this year for a playoff push and potential Super Bowl run here. And I think we see just a real putting the Chiefs in their place type of situation here. So give me the boys.
Yeah. This is a very interesting game. I'm pretty sure any game that's been, I read a stat, I think it happened like last year too, at 55 points, like it's gone under most of the times when it's that high. So with that being said, I mean, the Chiefs, they looked great. Obviously, they looked great. They needed that win against the Raiders last week, or else they probably wouldn't even be in contention for a playoff spot. But with that division, everyone just beating themselves up. They do have a chance to win that division. But I don't know. The Cowboys looked good. They have a better defense. It's hard to bet against Patrick Mahomes like we do every week, but Alex said they're like 3-18-1 the last 20-something games. So they're terrible at covering. They are at home. I would like the Cowboys more if they were at home. But give me I'm gonna take Cowboys plus 2.5, I think.
Why is it hard to bet against Patrick Mahomes?
No, it's not. It's just it's the thought, and just we know like what they can do, and they can turn on at any time. And last week they might figured it out and clicked, and now
they
they're
did.
around. So we'll see.
They beat
Yes.
a really bad Raiders team.
I know.
Like everyone's like, they're back. They're back.
He threw
They're
5
not
touchdowns
back.
on a team that, like as we just talked about in the other game, like they do bring a lot of pressure, and Mahomes still like threw 5 touchdowns and torched them. I'm going to be on the Chiefs minus 2.5 here in Arrowhead Stadium. I have two different bets on this game. Actually, I have taken the Chiefs minus 2.5, but I've also like it's a nice little hedge. And because of we already know that, yes, the Chiefs have struggled against the spread. So like the 2.5, but getting the Cowboys to 8.5 in a teaser is probably my second favorite teaser spot. I think this game could be really close. I think it's going to be a track meet, like just back and forth all game. I can't wait to talk about this game in DFS tomorrow. No, it'll be really popular, but I mean, how can you not like this game? I think this is a game where you'll see, like we've talked about Trevon Diggs, how he's been one of the best corners in the league at times.
He's
And,
good at he's good at making plays. He's on.
Yeah, he's a big playmaker. But I mean, I've watched him play where he's actually just shut down people like throughout the game. But I think in this big spot here, you're gonna see Diggs try to do too much and try to, get one on Mahomes, and Tyreek's gonna get like a double move on him, and Tyreek's catching like a bomb against Diggs here. I think you're gonna see like people are gonna see Diggs make a few mistakes this week in particular, and you can talk about Micah Parsons is, probably the defensive rookie of the year, but the Cowboys have been getting beat by tight ends all year. It's not like that's an area where the Chiefs will struggle against attacking the Cowboys. And yeah, I mean, it's hard not to like the Cowboys too, back and forth. But I mean, I'm getting Mahomes at home -2.5. I like it a lot. I'm on this is when the Chiefs are turning it around. We saw their little slump a little earlier than some of these teams like the Rams and stuff. But this is when Mahomes, I think, is trying to actually make his case for MVP. And people might not think it, but after this game, if he gets a big win, throws a bunch of touchdowns, like he's firmly in the conversation to win MVP.
All right. Let's move it on.
Moving on to a game of two teams that put up absolute stinkers last week. We've got the Cardinals going in to take on the Seattle Seahawks. Line opened up Seahawks -3.5. This is now flipped to Cardinals -2.5. Over-unders at 50.5. Corey, why don't you take this one away?
I'm glad you did, because this is my lock of the week. Cardinals coming off a bad loss. But I mean, teams kind of understand how a backup quarterback plays after one game. Yeah. So it's Colt McCoy, and he's like 15 years in the league. He's just theirs primarily as a mentor at this time, just helping people learn the offenses.
Is Kyler back for sure?
I'm not sure I'm pretty sure he's probably gonna be back. He was trending upwards to play this past week, but they kept him out. He wasn't.
Hopkins probably won't be though.
No. And I think the Seahawks, Russell Wilson came back, last week. He had a hurt finger. I mean, he had a pin in his finger, and he like healed so faster than any person in the league can heal.
Rehabbing 19 hours a day.
Yeah, I mean, the dude's a nutcase when it comes to his body. But I like the Seahawks here. Seahawks, they don't have a team to make the playoffs in the public's eye, but in their eyes, they still think they have a chance. And I think if they're going to make that playoff push, they have to win this game. They lose to the Cardinals, they're dead. They're going to sell. It's going to be a fire sale there. Pete Carroll will probably be gone. Russell Wilson will probably be gone. But I like the Seahawks here at home, 2.5. Give me that lock.
So Corey's lock of the week. I'm also going to be on the Seahawks here, +2.5. Russ in Seattle. I don't know his career against the spread, but it has to be good at home. So getting points. I think you saw him coming off of obviously that broken finger, playing in the cold in Lambeau. I mean, that just couldn't have been a good combination. Even with him being able to play. I think he's going to be obviously much more comfortable at home. Another week of throwing the ball with that kind of, adjustment, if you will. I'm going to take the Seahawks here +2.5.
Yeah, we might get a Chris Carson sighting again too. I think you have to take the points here, especially if Kyler Murray gets ruled out, it's going to kind of be a no-brainer there, and you get a little buffer room. So to me, that was kind of a no-brainer for me. So I think you just got to go with the Seahawks at home, like we're saying. I think the Lambeau thing was kind of a one-off situation in the cold. Like, that could not have felt good. Every hit there is a stinger when it's that cold, and having that cold football smack against your 2-week repaired hand, or like that couldn't have been great for Russ. So I think they're starting to get healthy again, like you're saying. I think Pete Carroll is still a good coach, and they're going to make their playoff push, and they know that they have to win now. Cardinals are, they've dropped a couple here and there, but they're still firmly in the driver's seat right now. So as much as they would like to maintain that position, I think that Russ is probably just a bit hungrier here against a not so great Colt McCoy, most likely case. So
Yeah, I'm another nice little unanimous pick here. I'm on the Seahawks as well. I really do hate, even I picked them last week against the Packers. It was close for a little while, but yeah, that was one of Russ's worst games I've ever seen him play. It was evident that cold, I think, had an impact on his finger playing after that. Probably
could
did
not
not
have felt
feel.
good.
No, that I should have considered that. But coming back at home, going against the Cardinals, no Hopkins, could see Colt McCoy again or a banged up Kyler. And I get Russ at home with points. You rarely get that. So I like it a lot. I think Pete Carroll is one of the worst coaches in the league. I think if he didn't have Russ for so many years, honestly, I don't know if he'd have a job. I think it seems like he said after this last loss against the Packers, his solution, he said, we need to run the ball way more. And when I hear that from a coach, you have Russell Wilson on your team, and that's your solution. It makes no sense. Some of this, every time his solution when they come off a big lot is we need to run more. And I hate hearing that, but getting Russ with 2.5 points is really hard to pass up. So, and in a divisional game at home, I'm taking it.
All right, another one that we agree on across the board. Moving on to the night game, got the Steelers coming off of that exhilarating tie to the Lions.
What a thriller!
What a thriller!
Down to the wire.
Going to Los Angeles, taking on the Chargers. The line, opened up at -2.5. It's now up to -5.5 for the Chargers. Over under set at 47. Nick, take this one away.
Yeah. I actually want to just have a community discussion about what's going on with the Chargers right now. I think 3 or 4 weeks ago, we were talking about Anthony Lynn being coach of the year. Herbert, what?
Anthony
Lynn would never win coach of the year. He would win worst coach of the year. That's why he got
Brandon
fired.
Staley, dude. Dayton
Flyer
alum.
Sorry.
Dayton Flyer alum.
I'm washed up on my coaching knowledge here. But yeah, I kind of just want to talk. What do we think's going on with the Chargers? I mean, they're not looking great. What are you guys seeing?
I still think they're good.
I think they've stumbled. They've played some.
Just like a lot of these teams, we've said it. A lot of these teams, we haven't seen a team really just take over and be like that team yet. There's probably one that at least record wise will break out here soon. I think that's
so you're not too worried about them.
I don't think so. No.
No, and I think that they played tough teams.
They've been. Did they have some missing pieces in their secondary as well?
Yeah, they've been
a couple injuries. Have been injured off and on.
So I think this is a bounce back spot for the Chargers. I think the Steelers could be without Big Ben. So Mason Rudolph versus Justin Herbert as a primetime game is, you have Justin Herbert in LA, so I understand the flair there, but this game should not be the primetime game. It should be flexed out, but
I can't believe they haven't for Cowboys Chiefs.
That would have
surprising.
been such a great team. Great
Yeah.
game.
So I mean, I know Nick, it was your turn. We kind of took over, but I think it's
okay.
an easy. I think it's an easy spot. It's Chargers -5.5. I think is the play.
Yeah, I just needed a little sanity check there. Thank you for grounding me. I mean, I wasn't going to bet on the Steelers anyway. I'm just more so curious what everyone was thinking about the Chargers there. But yeah, give me Chargers and points. We'll go with the crew.
What do we think, PB?
I'm on the Chargers too. I think the Steelers are not good at all. I don't think Big Ben and Mason Rudolph is really much of a downgrade. I think they're pretty much the same. But yeah, I think I guess the way the Steelers attack it's technically a good matchup because they like to run the ball. And that's how you attack the Chargers. But I just don't think that offense, they're not good enough to do it. And I think Herbert has a really nice bounce back spot here against the Steelers team. I don't like the Steelers at all.
Yeah.
Also with this, Minka Fitzpatrick also.
Oh
got
yeah, they're really banged up.
COVID and
TJ Watt.
TJ Watt's hurt as well, but they
Yeah.
think he can still play. But go ahead.
Yeah, I forgot about mentioning that too.
Yeah. I honestly think we kind of saw who the Steelers were last week. They're not the Lions bad, but the fact that you can go in and tie the Lions.
I think they're equally as bad. That's what a tie means.
No, not biased at all.
They're not. They're in
biased
the bottom half of the league is what they are.
Yeah.
They're not.
I mean, I personally
a
think they
winning
should just
organization.
send the Steelers to London and just redo the franchise over there. But
Big Ben out of Big Ben.
yeah,
I know right now the Steelers are in such a thorn for Browns and Colts fans too, because they're they're technically in the playoff mix. So every time you see them pull out, last week, the Lions beating them would have been nice, but
Yeah.
the good thing is I don't view them as a legitimate contender. They're just
There's-
currently
a nuisance. They're a
currently just
nuisance.
above us right now, it just hurts. So
yeah. So another game that we're all in agreement.
Nice.
That's the fourth one of the week after I think 2 weeks with maybe only one, if not zero.
Yeah.
So we're either going to all come out with some pretty good records or some pretty terrible ones after this week. Moving on to the final game on the slate, Monday night, Giants going into Tampa, taking on the Bucks. Corey is the Florida boy. Why don't you Island boy take it away for us?
Yeah. I mean, Bucks came off a bad loss. I mean,
Yes,
that
sir.
Okay, chill out here now. The Giants are coming, they're getting healthier. Saquon has a chance to play this game, even though he can play. It's a terrible matchup. The Bucks are arguably the best team against the run. Giants secondary, the Giants have a better defense than I think they're given credit for. But I think pissed off Tom Brady after a performance and getting thrown underneath the bus by Bruce Arians this past
Wait,
week.
what?
Yeah, at the press conference when they asked about Tom Brady's interceptions, he's like, those were his fault. He should do better. So
So yeah, I agree. It's
yeah.
true.
So,
nobody else's fault.
I mean, maybe
Bruce Arians didn't throw him.
I mean, Leonard Fournette did have one go through his hands, but still, I think Bucks at home against the Giants, primetime game. I don't like it's 11.
It's a lot of points.
It's a lot of points, but I think the Bucks come back and show why that they're a Super Bowl contender. So give me Bucks -11.
PB, looks like you're stewing over there. Let's hear it.
Well, if you're on the Bucks, just say it.
Me or
Nick,
Corey?
you're on the Bucks. You probably have to be, right, Nate?
I think we're gonna wait till it's my segment, but
Well, I'm assuming you're on the Bucks here.
I'll follow you up. Go ahead, PB.
Okay, perfect. Well, if you bet against Brady this year, you've probably doubled your money by now against the spread. I believe Brady is 3. Well, they had either 3-6 or 3-7, I believe, against the spread. Brady is this is a stat I do know. He's 0 and I think 11 in his last primetime games that have occurred after his bedtime, which is like 7 p.m. So he's 0 and 11 in primetime spots after that time. And primetime games, just like this season in general, if you bet the underdog, it's something crazy. Like it's crazy profitable if you've been on the side of the underdog. Another spot, prime time, Brady, prime time, public all over him after a letdown spot against Washington. The Giants are getting healthier. I'm pretty sure, I think Shepard will be back. I'm pretty sure Tony will be back. Saquon will be back. The team will be healthier coming out of the bye. And I think Daniel Jones is a capable enough quarterback to, take advantage of this like practice squad secondary. So I am easily taking the Giants plus 11 or whatever, 10.5, 11. If it's especially, is it 11?
It's 11.
11.
Yeah. I'm easy pick for me.
Yeah, I'm definitely with you there. I love the
Let's
call
go.
out for the bad Bucks secondary. I think it would just be a perfectly complete picture if Marshawn Lattimore was on that team, same skill level. But I just have a question for you, PB. Going back to your 0-11 little bedtime comment there, you taught our users a lot about the regression to the mean. So could you explain why this would be a time where you're going to go against yourself here and fade the regression?
That was my question too, Nick.
Oh, well, this is also a spot where, I don't like Tom Brady. I think he's a bad quarterback, and I don't think he's good. And now he doesn't have the defense to, bail him out. And, AB shouldn't be back. Like Godwin, I think, is still banged up. It's just he doesn't have people that can bail him out. And I'm going to bet against Brady. It's as simple as that. I don't think he's good. And they're favored by over 11 points. So we're without those stats. Those are just I know some people like stats like that, but if those stats didn't exist, I'm still on the Giants here because I don't think Brady is good.
Yeah, I think the Giants will be healthy enough to at least keep it close. I honestly just don't like the spread here. 11 points is kind of a lot for a primetime game. However, if you had to pick a money line, I'm still going Tom Brady prime time.
He had to make sure he got his money line pick in here.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a show
Lace,
without it, right?
700 to win 100?
Obviously, saving the best for last, picking Brady. I wish Gronk would, make an emergence again, but it looks like we won't get it again this week. I think the Giants are good. They'll keep it close. It just feels like a much safer side to bet here. So give me Tampa Bay money line and take those Giants points.
Okay, so you're laying what is it, 700 to win 100 or something like that?
It's got to be something like that at 11-point spread.
If you've been betting the Tampa Bay money line the last few weeks, you are probably poor by now. So just keep that in mind.
I don't have a ton else to add here to this one. It's just too many points. Like Nick said, Bucks win, Giants cover. Okay, so running it back for the locks of the week. Corey is on the Seahawks plus 2.5. I am on the Cowboys plus 2.5. PB is on his Saints plus 1.5. And Nick, what are you going with for your lock of the week? Let's hear it.
Cowboys 2.5. I'm with you
as well. All right.
Ride or die, brother.
Well, that about wraps up this week's spread bets. We'll see you guys tomorrow for our week 11 DFS picks. So thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe. Helps out the channel a lot. And we'll see you tomorrow.
Peace.